Everybody doing? This is my second podcast, and joining me is my voiceover friend, Retro Snow White, also known as Josephine Parks. Say hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Today we're going to discuss a lot of things, starting with her issues with the fact that Star Wars Celebration is in Chicago and not California.
Yep.
Tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so as a lot of us know, Star Wars Celebration, or SWC, is going to be in Chicago for 2019. And me, that I live in California, and even a lot of people that don't live in California, a lot of us suspected, Star Wars Land is going to be opening in 2019 in Florida and California. So we figured, well, since Star Wars Celebration was in Orlando last year, we all figured, okay, it's probably going to be there. But then out of nowhere, they're like, hey, by the way, it's going to be in Chicago, and no one knew that it was going to be announced yesterday. Everyone thought, okay, May 4th they're going to announce it or something, but no, they announced it on a random day. So a lot of us are concerned, especially because it's going to be, a lot more extra and expensive. And we're also kind of confused because we're like, okay, well, why Chicago? Everyone's confused as to why that is. But apparently, for the Last Jedi ticket sales, I guess Chicago had the biggest sales for that. Chicago has the biggest convention center in North America, so, they want to sell as many tickets as they can. And also, this is something I was thinking about, is that apparently, for a while, George Lucas was thinking about making a Lucas Museum in Chicago, but it ended up getting canceled. But that was about a year ago, so unless they had, scheduled this then, you'd think they would have changed it. But, I mean, at least for the people that are in the Midwest, it's good. But for a lot of people, we're all pretty surprised and, kind of taken back a bit.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would someday be in the Javits Center somehow, but it doesn't have a hotel suite in there.
Oh, yeah. No, they always have to get their sponsoring hotel and everything, which they still haven't announced that yet, but yeah.
If it was in New York, I'd be so happy about that.
Yeah.
You could just go on a train all the way to the last stop, and I'll be right at the Javits Center.
Oh, wow. But yeah, New York would actually be pretty cool, too, to be honest. Chicago's kind of one of the last places I would want it to be. I've heard it's a really cool city and all, but it's just, everyone's also kind of freaked out because they're like, oh, the Chicago crime and this, and, obviously everyone's going to be by each other at the convention center. Probably nothing is really going to happen, but it's just kind of, everyone's thinking, especially they have kids and everything, they're all freaking out, well, do I want to go there? I haven't even been on a plane since I was 3, so I'm guessing I'm going to be taking a plane there, and then you have to worry about props getting messed up, especially because, my race staff is 6 feet tall, and it does split into 2 pieces, but again, that's still over, the carry-on thing, and then you have to worry about it being broken and everything, so, yeah, some people are actually doing road trips to go there because they're so worried about getting their props broken. It's smart, I guess.
When Star Wars Celebration last year was in Florida, I actually considered taking transportations all the way over there.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I was on top of the money I would spend on the convention center, I'd probably run out of money.
Oh, yeah.
By the time I left, I would have been oh shit, I'm stuck in Florida.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go to Disney World.
No, I know, yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, I just want to be among those people in celebration, the ones who really appreciate the new, the old, and all that stuff, It's we're a place where you can freely be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, agreed.
Outside the internet echo chamber of hate,
Yeah, no, I know. Online it's always so crazy, and especially because, you kind of can hide behind a screen, as a kind of cringy saying is, but it's true. That, obviously, when you go there, I feel overall everyone's pretty positive, and they're excited for, new content and everything. I have a friend who, he went to last year's celebration, and he waited, obviously, overnight for, I believe it was the 40th anniversary panel, or was the Last Jedi panel? I don't remember which one it was. But yeah, I mean, he says you literally have to get in line the day before the convention ends, like, so 4 hours before the convention ends the day before is when you have to get in line. So we're talking about what, like 4 o'clock or something, and then the next convention is like the next day, so full like 24 hours of waiting outside. And especially now it's going to be Chicago in April, that's going to be like really cold, so yep. It'll be fun, but it'll definitely be different than, you know, I'm assuming Florida was pretty warm, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. People, and I remember seeing the celebration. I kind of found it funny how people were camping out and watching movies while they were waiting. Everyone's like, I was watching Rogue One while I'm waiting for the line to end. This is cool.
You can probably do a whole Star Wars marathon right there, and probably can witness like every single movie on at once.
Right,
on
depending how big your hard drive is.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, you just walk through the line, you're gonna see one person's watching The Force Awakens, one person's watching A New Hope. You can probably see all of them. But yeah, I mean, it seems really cool, like a cool interaction thing, you know. Yeah, it is kind of disheartening that it's not close, but, I mean, at least, you're around Star Wars fans, and it just seems overall like really cool experience. And again, even though you are waiting in line, it's with other people who also are, like, obsessed with Star Wars. So, you know, you don't necessarily feel, like, that bad about it or anything. So, yeah, it'll be cool, though. It's gonna be weird seeing, though, like, all Star Wars cosplay for once. You know, I'm kind of used to being one of the odd ones out.
You're gonna be among all the Rays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, dude, my friend went there last year, and especially, you know, at that point, we only had one Rey costume. I mean, there was Resistance Rey, but most people were doing, you know, the main one, because Resistance Rey was in, like 2 minutes of the movie. And he said, like, I had never seen so many Reys in my life. He said, like, most of the convention center was that. And he said all of his friends were dressed up as her, so he said it was really hard to find them, because he'd be like, okay, they all have brown hair, they all have the same costume on. I was like, oh my god. So
remember that snap video I sent you?
On which video?
The one where, like, there's, like, a whole bunch of cosplay Rays reincarnate the snap effect.
Oh, yeah, that was at,
Nobody's in the living room. Do you want to watch TV?
I'm okay, thanks.
Are you on the phone?
Yeah. It's okay. That was my grandma.
Hello. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember, I believe that was the snap video for LA Comic Con, or it was either LA Comic Con, or, no, it wasn't. It was, what was that other one? There was that one that had a bunch of Star Wars people at, I remember. I don't know, I remember it was one of the cons that I was gonna go to, what was it? WonderCon, that's what it was WonderCon. And I remember, in Anaheim, haha. But, so, yeah, I remember I was actually one of the ones who helped set that up, and then I wasn't, you know, able, like, to end up going, because, like, a lot of stuff happened. But, no, it was really cool, though, and especially, like, Ryan Johnson, like, got sent, I think it was a picture of the video, and he was like, oh, that's so cool. So that was pretty cool to see. But I would like to see, though, at Celebration with, like, a lot, you know, because so far, I think the most we've got in one picture or video was probably about 10 to 20. At Celebration, you can get, like, an infinite amount, and that would just be crazy. That'd be really cool, though. I like to see that.
Everyone, line up for the snap effect, and we're going to take a photo video of it.
We freaking do a meetup. Yeah.
So, Solo.
Yep.
How was it?
It was pretty decent. How about you?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I had fun with it, but
it definitely was a fun movie.
Yeah. But it felt a little too fan servicey for my taste.
Agreed.
Because, like, people kept on saying, like, Force Awakens is full of.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Well, if you see Han Solo, in my opinion, it's very fan servicey. It wasn't like fan servicey.
Yeah, no, it wasn't where you're like, why? But I mean, like, a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, the whole fan service again, like, oh my god, look, it's Lando Calrissian. Oh my god, look, it's Han and Chewie. Oh my God, this is the Millennium Falcon. Look, the Millennium Falcon looks the way it looked back in 1977. Shit, it's Darth Maul.
That was literally like the stupidest cameo. I'm sorry, I did not give. I was like, okay.
Here's why I don't think the Darth Maul cameo works. Because.
Well, yeah.
Because people, like 70% of the fan base, probably, well, not really, 60% of the fan base, I'm guessing, probably haven't watched Rebels, because most of them are probably mainstreamers just getting into this. So they're going to be like, how the fuck is he still alive?
I know. I was thinking that too. And I have watched a little bit of it, but I was still like, yeah, no one's going to get this if they're like over 30.
Right. Yeah. Well, 30-year-olds probably watched it too, so you can't really like, you know.
Yeah, that's why I said over 30.
Oh, right, over 30.
Yeah, over 30.
But yeah, it was like, after the movie, that's all I was talking about. Like,
really? The Darth Maul thing?
Companions next to me were like, okay, so Phantom Menace takes place between Attack of the Clones, which is 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And Attack of the Clones takes place 3 years before Revenge of the Sith, so that's 13 years, right? And then Revenge of the Sith is 19. So he's like 31. We were having such a fucking confusing conversation.
Oh my God, I know.
And then
I was
because I was
confused too about like just stuff in general with the movie. I was like, I don't even know, dude. Like,
it was just the Darth, and I like how he had to pull his lightsaber toward him and ignite it.
I know. He had to show it, yeah.
So he could be like, it's Star Wars! It's Darth Maul! Yeah!
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, we know that you're Darth Maul. Like, you don't gotta, like, show your lightsaber, boy.
And all the prequel fanboys are like, yes, this movie is awesome now because Darth Maul at the end of the movie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because he doesn't look like a person who would run a crime syndicate.
I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, this doesn't seem like fitting, you know? Like.
Yeah, what? Yeah. So does this take place days or months before he gets killed by Obi-Wan again?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, yeah, no. It's very confusing. I mean, yeah, I guess technically we're not supposed to really think about it that much, but like that we're Star Wars fans. That's what we do.
Right.
We overanalyze everything.
But a lot of the cadets, as I like to call them, are going to be like, what?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Didn't he get chopped in half?
Yeah. Man. I'm so... oh, man.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy, though? The actor physically showed up for that scene.
I know.
But Sam Witwer did the voice.
Yeah.
So 2 moles in one.
Yeah. So, like, let's make it to where Rebels fans still, like, kind of get it. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the new... I don't know. If I keep talking about this, it's going to take up...
It's going to... Or literally our whole podcast is just going to be Darth Maul what?
Darth Maul what? So let's get to other stuff. Let's get some other negative stuff out of the way before we talk about the good stuff. Okay, number 1.
Yeah, how Solo got his name.
How did you know I was going to say that?
Because that's what pissed me off the most. I was cringing so much, like, in the theater, like...
How... So if you were basically named after an Imperial officer, how are you going to fucking keep that name?
I know.
You're basically the enemy.
Yeah.
Even in the future, you're facing up against the First Order. That's basically a fucking symbol of the Empire, basically.
Yeah, no, I know.
You're like he goes up to the recruitment area and he's like, name? Han. Last name? Did you have a family? Last name? He's like, no, I'm a loner. A loner, Yep. Oh, I got one for you. Han Solo.
I know. Yeah, dude, and then he passes it on to his son. You're like, wow, that's great. We're the lonely family.
No.
No, like I was in the theater. I saw opening night, but like my theater wasn't like super packed or anything. But I was sitting next to these like you can definitely tell they'd watched Rebels and stuff, and they're like super like nerd couple, which is like that's all good. I relate, but like, and then my friend was next to me watching it, and she's not like really a Star Wars fan. She's just like kind of like a casual fan, you know.
Right.
But it was just hilarious because like there were many times where I cringed because of fan service in that movie, but that was the most. Like when he was saying like name, and then again like you're saying, like I was like right before he said Solo, I was like literally saying, I was like, no, don't you say that. I was like, don't. And my friend was just like laughing, and he was like, Solo. I was like, no. I was like, what the hell? And this guy started laughing behind me, and I was like, ugh. I was like, why? I was like, why? Come on.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, in my opinion, L3 went from pretty interesting to pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah.
She did, like, people really need to check who's a real annoying Star Wars character here.
Yeah.
If Rose is on that list,
I know.
I'm sorry, but you have no idea. L3 is constantly a liberal robot activist, and it's just no.
Like at first, it actually kind of works, and then it does go a little bit too far. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a certain line that just made me go, oh.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it's when she was talking about the rebellion thing where they're all like running outside or whatever. That's kind of the point for me. Like right before she dies, where I was like, okay, we get it. It's a little bit too much now.
Hey, at least they killed one annoying character off.
I know.
They couldn't do us justice by killing off Jar Jar.
We should go. Yeah. I just felt bad for Lando, dude, because Lando was like my favorite part of the movie. So I was like, oh, that's kind of sad.
Well, more negatives. In my opinion, I really could give less of a shit about Enfys Nest.
Yeah, she was okay. I didn't dislike her. I just didn't. That's kind of how I feel with almost like every character in the movie besides Lando. So I'm like, it was all right. No,
she was marketed in the movie, but she wasn't really that important.
Yeah, she didn't really do a whole lot.
She helped him out, but that's it. It's like, Han Solo, we need more leaders like you. Will you help us? No, maybe one day you'll change.
Oh my god, no, that's the only line that also I was like, oh yeah, maybe one day. It's like, boy, don't. I was like, don't do that.
What did you think of? Oh wait, no. Let's talk about more negatives. I think there's more.
Get them out of the way. I know.
The Kessel Run not being.
Oh no.
Race.
Okay.
I was like, what? And then so what's the whole point of bragging about winning about
12 parsecs?
Yeah, the 12 parsecs thing.
Yeah.
Like you're like this shit made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. Huh. So why did it seem more like just a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping it'd be like a famous race that everyone's going to watch, and everyone's going to be like, oh, Han Solo beat Lando Calrissian. He's undefeated, but he beat him. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I was just like that scene. I mean, you kind of knew it was going to happen, kind of just like everything in the movie. But I was still like, he was all, 12 parsecs. I was like talking to Annabelle, and I was like, hey, Annabelle, he was going to say 12 parsecs. And she was like, what? And then he was like, yep. And then he says that line, and I was like, yep. I was like, okay.
And I like how he just had to brag it to this random dude.
Yeah, who didn't care.
I made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
You don't care.
He's like, okay, yeah, sure, okay.
It was weird, bro.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot. Oh, I was pissed off also when they killed off 2 of what could have been interesting characters. Mm-hmm. Rio and what's her name?
Oh, the one that was the girlfriend of.
The girlfriend of Beckett.
Yeah. She actually did have a personality.
She was cool, man.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
I actually liked her better than Kira, actually.
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of expecting to like Kira quite a bit, and I feel like they didn't really give that much. She didn't really have that much to do with her character. Like, and I'm not saying it like, oh, it's Amelia's fault. It's just I feel like her character was just kind of flat almost, or just they didn't really describe her that well.
Just a generic old flame.
Yeah, because I think actually Amelia Clark was even talking, and she was talking about how she actually liked how Ron Howard came in, because she said before, like when she would ask like, okay, who is my character, they'd say like, oh, you're like a film noir chick, and she's like, what does that mean? She's like, how does that help me like be my character, you know? So yeah, I mean, because we obviously know that she can act because we've seen it. It's just, and I'm not saying she did a bad job either. Yeah, it's just her character just. I expected to like it more, and I was a little bit disappointed, and especially the ending where she leaves, and you're kind of like supposed to be kind of like sad. I was just kind of like, okay.
I was kind of calling that she would.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that's the only. That's one of two ways that we'll know that Han will remain single at the end.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, at least she did it to protect them and stuff.
Yeah.
You know they're not going to fucking run across them all, because that'd be stupid. If they run across them all in a possible sequel, that'd be so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about the Obi-Wan movie now, because they're probably going to put Maul in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't know how it actually ends up in Rebels.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the positives. The first and obvious one is the visuals.
Yeah. Well, except the only thing, this is kind of minor, but there was a lot of like flashing on the screen, like a lot, and like there was also times where it was so dark where like you couldn't even see it, and then it would just randomly flash, and you're like, ah. Like, yeah, that's no one else, like only one other person noticed that I talked to. So it's pretty minor, but yeah, that's the only complaint I have with the visuals. So everything else was cool.
Yeah, the cinematography, the locations, when they're actually on the locations and the sets, they always succeed in the practical and the visual, you know?
Yeah.
I've always liked, especially in freaking Rogue One when they were on Scarif, that looked awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing all the original Starcrafts, seeing all the original ships and walkers and fucking, it was just amazing to see. Force Awakens and too, don't get me wrong, they were awesome.
Yeah.
And this one, yeah, they're pretty good, especially the Kessel Run. I like the fucking clouds and the when they ran across the beast. But I don't know why they ended up in a fucking wormhole. How did it not?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Before,
yeah, that felt kind of random.
Yeah, it was. It's still like an obstacle. Like, oh, you have to get past this monster. Oh, you have to get past this wormhole.
Yeah.
It felt like an event, but it wasn't an event. It was an escape from the Imperial blockade. And I was like, why? Why couldn't it be just a reason to? I don't know. We're going back to the negatives right now.
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad because I just keep doing it. Oh, one cool positive. Okay, so I thought it was cool how Ron Howard made it to where, for like the first time ever, the cast could actually see, like, when they would go into hyperspace, like they would project that in front of the Falcon or whatever. And I thought that was really cool. Because usually just like green screen or blue screen or whatever, and this time they actually made it to where the actors could like see it, and I thought that was really cool. Just like not really anything about the specific film itself, but just like something positive, I guess.
I mean, in the other films, you could see the light of reflecting off of them a bit.
Yeah.
I think it was because the cockpit was a bit darker then. Oh. So, let's talk about Han himself. What did you think of Han? Because I thought he did a good job for what he was given.
Yeah, same. I was actually pretty, like, I didn't think he was going to be bad, but I just thought, oh, okay, he's just going to be, like, you know, fine. But he actually did better than I expected. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I agree. He had his mannerisms down. Yeah. He had his... I like how he interacts with Chewie. Oh, speaking of which, what did you think of Han and Chewie's meeting?
Okay, I keep going back to fucking. This is really negative. It's just kind of funny. But my friend and I, when he got thrown in the pit thing, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna feed you the monster." That's obviously not the line, but something like that. My friend and I were like, "Oh, hey, wouldn't it be funny if that was Chewbacca?" And then it was. And we were like, "Oh, okay."
I kind of called it.
Yeah.
Seconds in, I was like, "Wait, what's the? Oh, yeah. I know what they're doing." I'm like, "Okay, that's interesting." And then he talks all Wookiee, like,
"Yeah." It definitely wasn't bad.
No, I actually thought it was an intriguing way to introduce their friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, how they introduced each other. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
agreed.
He saved them. They're buddies for life.
Yeah.
That's how they're. But I can see that. And when Han asks Chewie, "What's your name anyway?" He's like, Chewbacca? You gotta come up with a nickname for you, buddy, because I ain't calling you that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Alden did a really good job, actually.
He did a really good job.
I was happy. Yeah.
Let's also talk about Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, boy. Lando is the shit.
He did a good fucking job.
He was great, dude.
He was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure Billy D. Williams is proud of what he saw on screen.
Yeah.
He even gave him advice. He's like, "Just be charming," and he was.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
He had his attitude down.
I know. It
was just
those card game scenes. Those were like really, really good.
Yeah. And also I love the annoying but this annoying detail from Empire when he calls him Han instead of Han.
Oh yeah.
And they brought it back in this movie, and I'm like, yes, he said it wrong. And fuck, he said it wrong. I'm like, shit, it's Han, not Han.
I know.
But yeah, those card scenes were pretty good.
Yeah.
I like how he got his revenge at the end. He's like, yeah, I got his
And I like also how he didn't win the Falcon like the first game either. You know?
True, yeah.
Because it's like Lando is really good, and like he's not gonna let you win the first time. So.
Right. But I was hoping that the Kessel Run would be like, you know what, you're worthy of my ship or something. I don't know. But yeah, the card games are pretty good. So at least we know what Lando was referring to in Empire. It's kind of fun to revisit that scene again. He's like,
"Oh yeah,
I want to cut coming back here."
Cool, yeah.
At the what you pulled, and they did that whole fake out. I'm gonna punch you, but then I'm gonna hug you instead thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, man, remember when I did this to you?
Dude, there was a lot of making out in that movie.
I mean, it's a Han Solo movie. There's gonna be a lot of making out.
I know, but like we had what was it? 3 times? So what? Someone's gonna comment and be like, "No, it was 4, 2, or something." We had 3 times with Han and Kira, and then there was one time with Woody Harrelson and his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, Beckett and
yeah.
I forgot her name, man.
Me.
I need a second.
Me. What else should we talk about?
Wait.
I remember, there was the 4 major things. Lando was cool. I thought, obviously, I knew they were going to obviously have to make the Falcon go, to its, original, form. But I didn't think it would literally all happen at once. It was all and I'm not saying oh, that's so stupid. I was just kind of surprised. I was like, well, so they lose the, ejection thing.
Escape pod.
Yeah, escape pod. I was like, what is that called? They lost that, and then they lost a bunch of stuff at the top, and then it all became dirty, all on one thing. And I was like, whoa. Obviously the inside still ended up getting changed later by Han, the interior and couches and everything. Yeah. I was a little disappointed by his cave closet, just because I expected it actually to be a little bit more cool, but it was so cool.
In a ship like that, it's plausible to have it that size, and I'm surprised we don't see it again later.
I know. Yeah. Another thing is that how L3 is like in the ship, and obviously we never hear about her in like any other movies, and no one ever mentions, oh, we have this navigator thing in the ship, and she's just been there like chilling like forever.
Well, Han does call the Millennium Falcon baby at one point, so...
Yeah, and then,
like, come on, baby, hold it together.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. And then, then again, also, he didn't really know, like, L3, so, it's not like Lando where he'd actually, like, cared about her, really, or anything.
Well, he seemed pretty upset when she died.
Yeah, but it's not like he's going to be, like, talking about her... later on.
Which made me surprised at how he easily gave up the Falcon. He's like, okay, you win.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Val, that's her name. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, it was a fun movie, though. It was fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not like, I gotta go see it 5 times, like I did with, like, The Last Jedi or anything, which is something that I find kind of annoying because people are like, all the people who don't love this movie are just Last Jedi haters. And I'm like, no, I actually love The Last Jedi, so, like, chill. But yeah, it's still good. It's not like, I'm never going to rewatch it again, or if I do see it on TV, I'm going to be like, no, skip. So, yeah.
I'm kind of mixed on whether or not I should buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Cause this is one of those. It's definitely better than the prequels, though.
Oh well, yeah, of course, for sure.
I can see the comments right now. But Paul was in it.
Yeah,
you're not. What? Shut up.
Yeah, it's like literally.
Yeah, I give it like a 6.8 at least.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between that and a 7. I usually just say a 7 because I'm like, I know everyone's opinion can change slightly once they rewatch it or whatever. But yeah.
I probably watched it a couple more times and that's it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of anything else. I know I was going to say something else. But
the villain.
I can't remember. The one that's...
Vision.
Yeah,
Vision.
I was going to say Vision, but I was like, I'm trying to think of the actor's name. But
Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
Plays as Dryden Voss.
Yep.
The
name. I thought it was kind of weird how his face glowed when he got like mad.
I kind of found that interesting.
Like it was kind of cool, but also like it was not like super noticeable either. So at first I was like, wait, is his face glowing? And then I was like, oh, I guess it is.
It's just like his veins are alien veins are popping out.
Yeah, it's just he was like so close to being human, but yet he wasn't. I think that's what was the weird thing for me. But at least this character was kind of interesting, though. Like he wasn't like the typical like Star Wars like bad guy. He was actually like different.
Yeah, like Casino Royale type thing.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded Casino Royale, only more aggressive.
Mhm.
That's exactly what he reminded me of.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like a super original villain as far as movies go, but as far as Star Wars, it was new.
Yeah, and that club scene, I'm like...
Yeah. The scene thing weirded me out. I don't know, like, it was kind of interesting, but also, like, really bizarre. And then... Like, when Kira came, obviously everyone knew that was going to be Kira that was going to walk up to him. But it was still, like, I was like, I don't know, I just felt everything was so simple. Like, even a lot of Kira's outfits, the only outfit of hers that I actually thought was, like, pretty cool was when she had, like, the red cape on with it.
Yeah.
Everything else was kind of just simple, and I guess, I get that they wanted to steer away from, like, the super crazy, like, ones from other films are trying to, like, differentiate it. But it was still almost, there was, like, times where I was just like, this is so, like, simple. Like, that's the only word I can really think of.
Wearing, like that sexy dress and that rebel outfit.
Yeah, it was, like, a very basic black dress. And then even her jewelry, her jewelry was kind of cool, but it was still, like, I feel like the most simple they could get it. Like, even with her hair, too. Because they said, they tried crazy hairstyles, but it ended up looking too much like Leia. But it still almost went, like, too simple. You know, it's like, okay, just kind of 40s waves and, like,
Jyn Erso didn't even have that crazy thing going on. She looked
yeah. No, but at least hers was very detailed, though. Like, she had a lot of, like, pieces to her outfit, like, if that makes sense. Because she had, like, the scarf and this and that. And with Kira, it's like, she had, like, a jacket and then gloves and, like, a pants, or, like, no, leggings and a skirt and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Awkward silence.
Ooh, awkward silence.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was alright.
Yeah.
I like the music. The
music was cool. Yeah, it was just close enough to, like, the originals and stuff, but without being, like, too close, where you were just like, oh, this is just a copy of it. Like,
especially now we finally have a Han Solo theme, like an actual theme for him.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why the originals never gave him one.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny how Mark Hamill, remember he was talking about, he was like, how come everybody has the theme except for me? And they're like, the main theme is
yeah,
like, what?
when we first see you, they play.
Yeah.
You got it. You got the main theme. You're the main dude.
Yeah. He was like, oh, really? It's like, boy, you're the main character. That was so funny. Yeah. It's funny. Mark can be so much like Luke sometimes. It's like hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. I still recommend it. It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not like I'd be like, oh, this is like, get your money back. It sucks. It's just like, I was a little bit disappointed, but I wasn't, like, oh, this is crap. Like, yeah, I'd still say go watch it.
I wasn't really expecting much. I was like, when I saw the second trailer, I'm like, yes, and then I saw a lot more trailers, and then I'm like,
Well, for me, it was kind of the opposite. Like, I started off being like, this is stupid, and then everyone was like, no, like, don't say that, like, don't go in there thinking it's going to suck, because then it's going to suck, and I was like, okay, you're right, like, I'll try to go in there, with, like, an open mind, and then I was like, okay, it was kind of just what I thought it was going to be. It's like, just watchable, yeah. And I don't know, I always feel bad saying that because, it's like, I know they all worked hard on the film and everything, and but it's still just like, I just didn't love it, yeah.
Could have been better, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Prequels.
Exactly, yeah. Yep. I will take that over The Phantom Menace any day.
Yes.
The DCEU. Because, like, I have nothing against your Harley cosplayers or anything like that. It's okay for you to express what you feel about the character.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what you feel about the movies in general. Yeah. What do you feel about the movies?
Oh, no. I remember I never even saw Suicide Squad in theaters. Part of it was I was really busy. Yeah, I literally...
You've never seen it?
I've seen it. I watched it on my phone, like, the day it came out. And then I have it, like, on DVD and stuff. So, I mean, I've seen it. I've just never seen it on the big screen. But yeah, my opinion of the Suicide Squad is not to go off on a tangent that's not related to what we're talking about, but I feel like it's a fun movie. There are a lot of problems with it, for sure. The Enchantress is really stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, I'm being super blunt about that. I thought she was an interesting looking character, but that whole thing was stupid. The main thing I like about it is, of course, we got a live action Harley. I love Margot Robbie. I've loved Margot Robbie since I saw her, like, in The Wolf of Wall Street. So when they announced she was playing her, I was like, oh yeah. I didn't hate Jared Leto's Joker. I didn't love it, but I thought, okay, it's fine.
I hated it.
But
I'm sorry, but I completely hated Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker. It just, the whole freaking gang banging gangster club owner Joker just doesn't do it for me. Especially when he goes all, He's all like,
oh, okay, yeah.
And he has a posse, and he's all like, yo, you better keep your mouth shut. The Joker's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, what?
No, I know. I feel like the idea actually could have worked. It just didn't really.
And then, it could have been a way better.
Yeah, like I know.
They could have done about it.
I always forget names. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson's Joker was also, like kind of a gangster, but it wasn't, quite as full on. Yeah, and honestly, Jared Leto's Joker is not my least favorite. Honestly, if I had to pick my least favorite one, I would say Jack Nicholson's, but not because I don't like Jack Nicholson or anything. I just feel like, I think it's partly because, again, every Joker that we've seen kind of represents the time, so it's kind of like that was more like the whole, like, kind of goofy 80s thing where Batman was transitioning from being Adam West to, like, super dark.
I'll take Gotham's Joker over this Joker, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Gotham's Joker is actually pretty interesting, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Gotham show or anything. But no, there are some pretty cool characters on there, and for sure, I can't remember his name, but no, from what I've seen on, like, he looks like he does a pretty good job on Gotham.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel,
I'm sorry, I was just gonna express my, extreme fandom for Heath Ledger's Joker. I know this is a popular opinion at this point.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
It's true. That Joker was amazing. Yeah. Like, his Joker kicked ass, man. I'm telling you, like, it was awesome. And then see this Joker, in my opinion, I hated it. I'm sorry. It's just, and the movie, the tone of the movie in general, they just modernized it and put it out to a certain demographic, like the ghetto, with the whole, and especially, I mean, El Diablo, I can buy it because, he's like a Mexican
El Diablo was actually kind of cool,
I thought it was cool, but like everyone else, no. No. Killer Croc was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
He was terrible. He was all like, I live on the ground.
Yeah.
There's tourists.
No. Yeah, it's even same with Katana. Like, they totally sidelined her, and she was actually a really interesting character for, like, the 2 seconds that they showed.
Right, because you know why? Because she was the most comic accurate out of the group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She wasn't turned into a freaking gangster Japanese chick from freaking Tokyo. And like, I'm like, no. She was a silent, deadly assassin from Japan. And I'm like, she's a silent and deadly assassin from Japan. I mean, I wish we got more of that, but we're and it's overshadowed by these ghetto-looking superhero villains. Deadshot is Will Smith basically playing Will Smith. Yeah. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, no hate on Will Smith or anything, but I do agree. He definitely kind of just plays himself in that movie where it's like, he's a charismatic guy, but it's not like, whoa, this is such a, a new character or anything, or really cool. But I definitely don't think Suicide Squad is a great movie, but I do think it was really cool seeing live action Harley. Again, I like Margot. Overall, like, the costumes and makeup and everything were pretty cool in the movie, I feel. I mean, again, it won an Oscar for, like, hair and makeup, which it totally deserved. Which at least I feel like it did. Like, I know for one, Margot's wig, like, I didn't even know that was a wig until I started researching it.
I thought she got it.
So, I mean,
But here's the thing, though. It won over Star Trek.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying, hair makeup is the most, greatest thing ever, but I'm just saying, I feel like that, in that aspect, it was good. As far as writing, definitely, it had a lot of issues.
Lots of issues, like, especially... Did you have any clue as to what the Enchantress's doomsday device was?
No.
It was just a freaking doomsday device. Like, we had to blow that shit up because it's gonna do bad things. Yeah. We're not gonna get into it because we're shitty writers. But but I don't think Suicide Squad. Well, it's kind of, in my opinion, is a really fucking bad movie. But I think that Batman vs. Superman and Justice League both share the same amount of mediocrity. When I first saw Batman vs. Superman, I was taken aback at how terrible it was. Yeah. How the writing was, how it was executed, how they shoved so much stuff in one movie just to
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I never even finished Batman vs Superman. I literally
don't even bother finishing it.
I got like 20 minutes into it, and I was just like I can't finish this. Like, I try to watch it because I try not to be one of those people who just, you hear opinions and then automatically you take that opinion, because I know how that feels like for The Last Jedi, where a lot of people did that and that pissed me off.
Right.
But yeah, I couldn't get past that 20 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I do.
20 minutes? Oh, that's definitely bad.
Yeah.
But, like, and then Wonder Woman was a good movie. Mm-hmm. It was a good movie. But then we get to Justice League, which completely disappointed me. I didn't. A lot
of people, I feel like it did. 10 years ago, if Justice League had come out, everyone would have been like, literally like freaking the hell out, because they're like, oh my god. Everyone talked about it for the longest time, and same, with a lot of things. But I don't know. I just feel like DC. I want to say it's because they're new, but also it's like, I don't know. I mean, again, my favorite DC movie of like all time, and I guess, I don't know if it's technically DC, but I mean, it's a DC character, is the Christopher Reeve Superman, from the 70s. Like, what was it, 78, I believe it came out. If that's wrong.
78, yep, you got it right.
Okay, I was going to say, if that's wrong, the comment section is going to be like, no, at 49 minutes, okay. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite movie, and that's still my favorite Superman of all time. I feel like Christopher Reeve really captured Clark and Superman, like, both were individual people. Like, they were so different. So I'm like, okay, yeah, they did a really good job then, and like Superman 1 and 2 are both really good. But then obviously we had a pretty big time jump from the next DC movie that was it Batman, like in 89? Was that the next one? I think they came out?
After what?
After the Superman films.
Oh yeah, but those Tim Burton movies were freaking awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, those were good too. So, but I feel like, I don't know what it is then, because they honestly, they're not that new. They've been doing movies since the 70s, and then they kind of have taken breaks, but honestly, I feel like Marvel's kind of newer, so I don't know. Right. I feel like DC's just gotta like figure it out, and it's taken them kind of a while.
It's like they're trying to catch up with Marvel so hard because,
Yeah.
And they wanted to release, I feel like they wanted to release Justice League earlier so they can get in front of Infinity War, which was going to be so impossible at this point, even. Because it made more in 3 weeks than the Justice League made in 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is great for Infinity War, but pathetic for Justice League.
I know.
It's just so sad,
Yeah.
I also want to ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about your whole Harley cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
How you're like, I don't care what people say about Margot Robbie. I'm going to cosplay her and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I respect that opinion. But how do you feel? Because I've noticed, like, you post stories about how people go against your opinion on Rey, considering you also cosplay her.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts against those? Well,
you mean how people like don't like Suicide Squad, or what exactly?
No. I mean, like, when you try to defend The Last Jedi and Rey's character and stuff, what is like the most absurd backlashes you've received?
Oh, I mean, as myself, I haven't really got that much hate as a cosplayer. I feel like part of it is, for one, I'm not like a huge account or anything. But, again, I have had a couple of people be like, oh, Rey, whatever, why do you cosplay her? He's kind of a stupid character. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
But more so, I usually see stuff on, Star Wars fan accounts or whatever, and it'll just be, a post that's just a picture of Rey, and then there'll be some people, fanboys in the comments that are like, oh, Rey's Mary Sue, and blah, blah, especially that Star Wars confession page. There's always confessions that are like, oh, Rey's Mary Sue, she isn't trained, and honestly, they probably don't even know what the fuck Mary Sue means. I think they're just saying it because they hear other people say it. What?
I was gonna point out, like, unless you see her lifting a freaking Star Destroyer, destroying the Death Star, flipping her lightsaber like she's a fucking Hawaiian performer or whatever. Yeah. I don't see her as a Mary Sue. I just see her as someone who's lucky and skillful, and the Force is helping her as well. So it's like, chill out.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, again, she's not doing, the prequel, type of style fighting, and everyone kind of knows that. It's not super, calculated or anything. But yeah, I mean, even I remember when I was watching the throne room scene, the thing, I'm going to sound so, not even vocabulary, so there you go. But when she's, fighting one of the Praetorian guards, I remember one of the moves that she does to kill one of the Praetorian guards, she practiced, on Skellig, so it's, she still practiced that, and, she didn't obviously perfect it on the island, because she freaking, I don't know, shoved the rock off the hill. So it's, she kind of didn't perfect it until she kind of needed to. Yeah, I mean, definitely it does get kind of hurtful, especially when, I would say, at least as of right now, Rey is definitely my main cosplay. So when I see a lot of hate towards her, and especially, obviously, I really love her as a character, it gets really frustrating because a lot of times they don't even have, at least I feel like, actual reasons, or they'll just bring up things that I know for sure other people thought of that they didn't even think of. And again, the whole Mary Sue thing, and I'm like, do you even know what that means? Or are you just saying it? Yeah, I mean, it's not a great feeling. I'm not the best at really describing it. I'm not very good at, voicing exactly what I mean sometimes. But yeah, it definitely is annoying, especially with people that are bigger accounts at Cosplayer. I do see it pretty often where they'll be like, oh, that's a stupid character, blah, blah, blah. And, usually they just ended up deleting the comments, but it can get, kind of discouraging, and I see people posting about it, and they're like, a lot of times we'll have to kind of, help each other out and be like, no, it's okay, we all, appreciate that you do Rey, or blah, blah, so, yeah, it's not horrible, but I feel like, honestly, we have it good compared to Rose cosplayers. So, yeah, I'm thankful that I'm not, doing, Rose, or... Actually, no, Jar Jar's, actually, people probably would just assume they're doing it for the memes, so they're good.
Yeah, that's true. There was, I remember seeing, this, the People vs. George Lucas video, and when he got to the subject of Jar Jar Binks, someone dressed up as Jar Jar while someone else was posting, Gungan should die or something, and Jar Jar was crying,
Oh my god!
Yeah, I never really see people cosplay as Jar Jar, and I guess for good reason. But okay, that shit was real. Shit, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Did you swallow your own spit?
Hell no. I just have allergies.
Oh, okay.
I would cry.
Lovely.
I would cough, and I feel like I feel like I'm fucking suffocating.
#Claritin.
Yes, I need that. I need that. So yeah, at least it's not. It doesn't stop you from your passion.
Yeah.
At least it shows that you're tough,
Yeah.
With that type of thing.
Thank you.
The same with me here. The minute I uploaded that video, I knew that people were gonna give me shit.
Oh yeah.
But it's come to the point when the first few comments that popped up were like, "You dumbass piece of shit! You fucking compared Rey to Darth Bane. He's a Legends character. Have you even read the Legends?" I'm like, dude, I'm just comparing their characteristics. I'm not saying they went through the same struggles. Of course, I knew they didn't go through the same struggles.
They're not the same person, obviously.
I mean, I never read Legends, but since it's uncanon now, I see them more as comic books. Where you can,
same.
Because some of the lore now is extracting some parts from the Legends from the movies and the shows too. For example, Admiral Thrawn was brought back to Rebels.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe the babies can finally get Darth Raven in canon. So and people are all babying over the fact that they haven't made an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie yet.
I know.
And once it was announced, they're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna do a Lando movie. We're like, no, we want an Obi-Wan film. And I'm like, in 2020, you are going to get it. Shut your crybaby mouths, please.
Yeah.
Holy
Dude, honestly,
crap.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, the Nessa Landon movie, I'm not too excited for it, but honestly, I'm not too excited for an Obi movie either. I feel like, honestly, I don't know what they would, do it on. It's like, we saw Revenge of the Sith, we saw Obi-Wan, kind of feel like shit, and then he basically went into exile until A New Hope, so I'm like, what is the movie gonna be? Just like a freaking, like a montage of him, like, walking around the desert?
Imagine?
Like, what is it gonna be?
Levels of boredom.
Yeah. But then fans would be like, still better than The Last Jedi.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Yep.
And they'll see a movie like Solo, which is
at least watchable, probably,
Will it either be decent, watchable, or fucking fun?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, better than Last Jedi, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Freaking ruin Luke. Yeah, like, I was talking to my friend about Luke, and he mentioned that Mark Hamill, of course, is allowed to have a voice on his character, because he's part Luke Skywalker, basically. And to have someone basically be that character for half their life, and then see this in the scripts, of course, they'd be shocked as to what they're reading. But at least he committed to the role and put his all into his performance. Yeah. If he really hated it that much, he probably would have said, fuck it, I'm done with this.
Yeah, no, I know. And he said, he's like, it's Rian Johnson's vision. He said, I didn't exactly agree with everything, but again, it shows that Rian is easy to work with because he was able to voice his opinion. I can think of probably a bunch of directors that would just be like, oh, well, I don't give a shit what you think, like, we're gonna do this, and, he was actually able to tell me what he thought about it, so, yeah.
And in his interviews, you would always, most of the time, hear him say, yeah, I really disagree with this, that, and the other, but you're like, you know what, I did it, I committed to it. But there are these YouTube videos that put his comments out of context, making it seem like he's shitting on the movie. Yeah. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of times where people will take, and it sounds so stupid because it's Star Wars, but it's like, they'll take a quote, and they'll cut out, a section of the quote to make it sound, like, completely different. And I'm like, why did you do that? Like, you obviously know that, like, what you're trying to say is different from what they're actually saying, or you wouldn't have taken that part out. So. Right,
exactly. It's just ridiculous, And then we see, I saw, like, the documentary that shows Rian Johnson and his journey of directing this movie. And they even place Mark Hamill saying, yeah, I disagree with this. I really disagree with everything he decided. I was like, okay, you don't see DC movies or Transformers movies being honest. You don't see Mark Wahlberg saying, maybe me having an underage daughter being slutted out wasn't a good idea. Yeah. It was weird. No, you just hear him say, yeah, Kid Yeager's a cool dude. He's an inventor, and he teams up with Optimus Prime, and we're going to go on a journey, and then we're going to fucking kick ass, and then it's going to make a lot of money. Yeah. Watch our movie, by the way. Watch it.
Yep.
I should have done the Mark Wahlberg impression. Yeah, it's going to be a great movie. It has Optimus Prime, it has Bumblebee, and Sarah Buck is in it, but you're going to like it because I'm in it. I'm in it. Mark Wahlberg, yeah. It's Transformers 4. Oh, and just so you know, I'm going to be in the 5th one. Yeah, it's going to be even better. It's going to have a lot of better effects, and it's going to be cool. What are your what are your opinions on the Transformers movies?
Oh my god. Okay, so this is like one of the most diverse conversation I've ever had about films. But yeah, so obviously Transformers, they came out. Well, at least the live action ones came out when I was little. And I remember watching them as a kid, and I was like, yeah, these are good, And then, now obviously I have little brothers, so they watched it, and first of all, there's a lot of sexual stuff in there that, I did not notice as a kid. And I mean, I guess you can say there actually are quite a few movies like that, but not to that level. I don't think.
It's a Michael Bay level.
Yeah.
Raunchy. PG-13 raunchy.
And yeah, I mean, Michael Bay is really good at doing action movies as far as, like, he makes them look like they're action movies. Okay, I'll give him that, like, know. But, yeah, I just feel like, these are not good for kids. Like, I remember there was one scene in the third one or something, where literally it just zooms in on this girl's ass for like 10 seconds, and I'm like,
all right, like the main chick in the movie, right?
Yeah, the blonde girl. I think.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Jason Statham's wife.
Yeah.
Or is it his girlfriend? No,
I have no idea. But yeah, and then of course the whole Megan Fox thing where like she just disappears in the third one, and you're like, as a kid, you're like, what happened? And then you're like, oh, that's kind of weird.
And you find out, Michael Bay was being a perv, and she said fuck you, and then she left, and then we got this chick, and then she was okay with the fact that she was gonna be slutted out in the movie as well, and I was like, why? I just remember, like, in the third one, the girl has this, like, pristine white suit on, and then, like, by the end of this whole scene where they're, like, literally falling out of buildings, like, there's, like, barely any dirt or anything on her white suit. Like, it just kind of looks like, I kind of went to the park and fell, and then I got up, and that's it. I was like, she looks perfect. Like, what? Same thing with the girl in the fourth one. She also had a all white outfit. I think. And it didn't get messed up. The one with Isabella, is that the fifth one or the fourth? No, I don't even remember. Isabella's a Hispanic little 14-year-old in the fifth one. Yeah, okay, that's the fifth one, okay. Oh, she was just the worst. No, stop. No. That was one of those situations where I feel like, especially with people always accusing Rey of being feminist propaganda, okay, like, you can't have a character like Isabella, and then, like, because it kind of fucks, like, everything up, because it's like, people are, okay, that is an example of where literally they just made a girl character there just because she was a girl. And I'm pretty much always one of those people who's like, no, I don't believe in that shit. Like, she's an actual character, but that was one of those times where I was like, okay, no, she was just in there because of that. Like, I'm sorry, character is kind of Michael Bay's a feminist now. Yeah. They're probably just like, Michael, you have to put this in there so people don't call you sexist or something. I don't know, dude. It's like, I don't know. And I hate, like, talking shit about people. Again, like, okay, it is a movie. When it all comes down to it, it's a movie, Right. They're there for entertainment. You don't have to love them. But it just is kind of frustrating, when people are like, oh, Rey's shit. And then I'm like, well, no, like, she's not, especially compared to, like, a lot of other characters. So, yeah, but no one mentioned her. Pop. But it's infinitely worse than Transformers, probably? What? Ninja Turtles movies. Oh, yeah, those also have Megan Fox. That's not April O'Neil. That's Megan Fox, man. Yeah. Have you ever seen the 1990 version? I didn't even know there was a 1990 version. Oh, damn! That's the one you had to see. Does she have red hair? Yes, she actually has red hair. Not like ginger hair, but like it's like auburn. Like reddish, but more brown. Yeah, like an auburn. Okay. Yeah, because Megan Fox just was Megan Fox is, like, really pretty and stuff, but it's, like, she wasn't April. Like, wasn't her job even, like, not all the same? It was like, she was, like, literally just had the same name. Oh, but you know what pissed me off the most about the second one than anything? What? What they did to Casey Jones, man. He was, in the original Casey Jones was always this cool dude and stuff, like, freaking badass, and then we got to this freaking dweeb who's a freak who says, I'm going to be a cop one day. I'm going to serve justice. And then he's seen with a hockey mask. He's like, that's not Casey Jones. What? And it's bad enough that Arrow is involved in it as Casey Jones. And I'm like, how did you get Arrow into this? Did they base it off of, like, the animated show? Like, the newer one? Is that why? Is he, like, 20 or something, or what? No, I mean personality-wise. I don't think
okay.
That even do with it. It's just that edgy, cool dude, freaking Casey Jones. Like, get out of my way, punk. And then you get to this guy, like, hey, I'm Casey Jones. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, I just imagine like Robin from Batman.
Right, and not to mention that the turtles, in my opinion, are ugly. They're just ugly looking.
Yeah, they're kind of weird looking.
Like, they're too freaking juiced up. They're freaking too brawly. Like, they have that turtle steroids or something. I get it, but you don't have to make him that jacked, especially Raphael, who looks like a freaking tank.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, dude, chill out, man. Like,
and I feel like their personalities weren't quite, what we're used to either. Like, they're not as, usually you're like, okay, that one's, Donatello, and that one's Michelangelo, and, you can tell, by their personality, who they are. And this, I was just like, so that's the guy with the blue bandana, and that's the guy with the purple one. I didn't see the second Turtles. I saw the first one, though. But I don't even think I got through all of it. I got through, most of it. And then I was like,
if you can't get through the movie, if you can't get through the movie, then the movie's just lost, And, the second one was so much worse. They shoved Bebop and Rocksteady, they shoved Shredder in there, they shoved Casey Jones, they shoved Krang in there. They did Shredder dirty by just putting him in the sidelines, like, I'll deal with you later, Krang said. And then Bebop and Rocksteady were the worst. We have them looking at each other's dicks. They're like,
oh my
man! I'm like, what the hell, bro? What the hell?
No, it's funny, just because obviously most of these are always, kids' movies.
I know, the kids are going to see this unadulterated nonsense. And, I mean, I don't know, man.
What even studio was that? I don't even remember.
That was Paramount and Nickelodeon.
Oh.
Nickelodeon movies.
Yeah. There are some good Nickelodeon movies, but not one. That's not one.
I'd rather watch A Sponge Out of Water.
Yeah. Dude, the SpongeBob movie, though, the classic one, that's good.
That's a childhood memory. That's a childhood memory.
It's a great film. To be honest,
that's what ended the era of the good SpongeBob series, and then it just went off board to the surreal comedic weird ass version of SpongeBob where we have Squidward stubbing his toenail or whatever. I'm like, what? No, man.
Even that's kind of gone off the deep end now, no pun intended. The second SpongeBob movie was just no. Remember, there was one funny scene in that movie, and everything else was just no. I'm trying to think, what was another one? Good Burger? That one was pretty funny too. That's also really old, though. I mean, not really old, but as far as Nickelodeon,
it's nearly 20 years old.
Yeah.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Yeah.
Speaking of movies based off of TV shows, how do you feel about Teen Titans Go to the movies?
Oh my God. Okay, so I, for one, I'm going to sound like one of those annoying fanboys who are but I really love the original Teen Titans.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything.
It was literally it's still one of my favorite shows. I watched it as a kid when it was on. Remember, 3 years ago over the summer, I binge watched all 66 episodes and the movie.
Jeez. They're only 66?
Yeah, I know.
66.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's actually technically 65, but then there's a bonus episode. So there's kind of 66. But yeah, so I really love that show. It was a kid show, but it was one of those kid shows where it's kind of same with the original Ben 10s or older Ben 10s where you're well, these are really well written. And then obviously I found out, they're making another Teen Titans. The style looks kind of weird, but it's a kid show. And then it's okay, so I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. It's like, I know that the voice actors and everything, they have fun with it, you know, and they like doing it. And I have younger brothers who, you know, like really like the show and everything and think it's funny. And I think the main thing with me that I don't like it is because, like, if it was literally called something else, like, I wouldn't dislike the show. It's just that, since it's Teen Titans, like, so many people don't even know that there was an original. They just think that it's this. Like, I even have a Teen Titans shirt somewhere. And whenever I wear it, like, little kids are always like, is that Teen Titans Go? And I'm like, no, it's the original one. So it's like, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I don't think it's the worst thing to ever come onto the planet. It is kind of annoying watching it, especially because all the characters are so different. Like, and they reuse a lot of the same plot stuff from the original show and just turn it into, like, a very, very kiddie version.
Exactly.
Yeah,
As a hardcore original Teen Titans fan, I was utterly taken aback at the fact that they just turned into a kiddie Powerpuff Girl special. Like, when I first heard that they were going to make a movie, I'm like, why didn't you make a movie based off of the OG Teen Titans, man? I wanted to see the movie that about terror or something, or freaking that beat. What's it called? Like the movie. I don't know. Like Slade is an awesome villain in that show.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw the trailer for this, and I'm like, dude, you turned him into freaking. Man. No.
That does kind of upset me. Yeah, I know. Slade was like such a freaking cool guy. Like
yes.
And then we see him now. We're like, no, what is this?
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm like, you know, again, if they really should have just done like all new superheroes for this, and then I'd just be like, okay, it's a you know, a decent kid show. But like, again, it's really just because of Teen Titans, you know, like, it bothers me because I'm like, okay, but that's like, again, I'm gonna sound like one of those crybabies, but that was my childhood, man. You're just starting to get into this.
I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
That was my childhood too. I remember seeing. I think that the arc. There's a lot of good arcs in the show. I think Robin's arcs.
Oh my gosh,
were awesome.
Robin was so cool.
He was awesome. He wasn't that freaking Robin from Batman and Robin. He was a cool Robin.
His own guy. Yeah. No, dude, I like Robin like more than Batman. # like unpopular opinion. But it's like, dude, like Robin is really cool in that. Like he's like relatable in some instances, and like he's a really like cool, like complicated character, and like legit. And I'm gonna sound like one of those shipping, but like, dude, Robstar was like, boy, like. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't care. I was just like when Trouble in Tokyo happened, and we saw like Robstar become like a thing. I was just kind of like, okay, but rewatching that, you know, like when I binged the whole series again a few years ago, and then that happened, I was just like, yes, like, oh my god, like it felt like it wasn't the best ending to a series. But I feel like we did actually get quite a few resolutions, like, in the movie. And that was a really good movie, too. Like, Trouble in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. No, it was really cool also to see them, like, leave Jump City. Like, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they did make Young Justice. And then, which that one was, like, I haven't actually seen that much of it. I don't like it as much as Teen Titans, but they renewed that, though. For another season. And then that's when I was kind of like, boy, what about season 6 of Teen Titans?
Oh, they are going to do it, though.
I've heard that, but like so many times where I'm like, are they, you know?
They're probably going to make it official at some point, but they're teasing it. Probably.
Yeah.
And now with our closing subject, I think I saved this for last, and I think you're going to like this question.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel to get your question answered by Daisy Ridley?
our next question here is a video question. We'll pull it up here on the screen for you.
Hi, Star Wars. I have a question, please, for Daisy. So I recently heard that Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose, went to a Star Wars-inspired restaurant and talked to cosplayers there, and they did not recognize her. Have you ever had an experience yourself with a Star Wars fan, or especially a Rey fan, who talked to you and did not recognize you?
I do like that she told me who Kelly played. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do know her.
Thanks for the question. The one time I probably noticed it is I was doing a film called Chaos Walking, in which I wore a blonde wig, and there was a boy coming in, and I was working with Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. There was a boy coming in who apparently really loved Star Wars and really loved Spider-Man. So when he met Tom, he was like, oh my God. And then he met me and he was super sweet. And people kept making out like he was a big Star Wars fan. I was like, really? And then someone said it was because he had been a little bit confused because I didn't quite look like myself.
Oh, shit. I was not expecting that. It was a very, strange day when that happened. I actually, I've never submitted a question to her before or anything, and my friend, sent me the link to it, and they were like, oh, everybody, comment your question or whatever, but then it also said, or post a video question, and I was like, ooh, well, a lot less people are going to be doing that one because, you have to, film, and that's more complicated than just typing something. And also, I'm like, if I, wear my Rey cosplay, I'll stand out in, the video section. So it took me a little bit to think of a question, and then I had to, rehearse it, 20 times, and then I finally found a take that I liked. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, and I posted it, and then, I was like, okay, I might get it posted, I might not, because also some people submitted, 5 questions, and I only did 1. But then when they actually started, this is turning into, a long-ass story, and then when they actually did, the live stream, I was in class when it was happening, so I wasn't able to watch it until, after class was over, passing period. So, I wanted to kind of just watch it myself and see, but my friend Sophie texted me and she was like, you got on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, and yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, I mean, I wasn't, upset at her or anything, I was just kind of like, oh, well, that's cool, so then I ended up, during passing period, I watched it, and I did not think I was going to be the first question. I was like,
yeah, I was like, oh, you're the first question. You're lucky.
Because I literally, because I was going through it and, scanning through it, and I didn't see it on there, and I was like, well, where is it? And I went to the beginning.
Oh, you said you're going to be, the second to last or the middle or something like that.
I went to the beginning, and it was that one, and I was like, oh, my gosh, and I was just, freaking out, and because I saw, Daisy, they showed, Daisy, was smiling as she was watching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. And then I showed it to my leadership class, and my teacher thought it was cool, but everyone else was just kind of okay, yeah, whatever. But I was like, guys, this is so great. And it was really cool. For a while though, it actually took me a while to actually realize what happened. I was like, wait, holy crap, Daisy actually saw my face. This is so cool. And I was also kind of weirded out because I was like, oh no, I probably look really weird. But yeah, no, it was cool. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, that must have been crazy.
Yeah. No, it definitely helped bring up my mood. So that was nice. Yep.
All right, that'll be it for this cosplay. I hope you've enjoyed listening to our thoughts and our hate on stuff.
Please don't hate on us, okay? I still love Star Wars.
So do I.
Yeah.
Solo was okay.
Yes.
It was okay. You'll love it.
We're not haters, okay?
And people hate Last Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Thanks for joining me.
Okay, bye.
Peace out.